Welcome back. A former top aide, the deputy chief of staff to New York governors Kathy Hochul and Andrew Cuomo, arrested and charged as an acting agent of the Chinese government. 41-year-old Linda Sun accused of using her high rank to serve the Chinese Communist Party in exchange for millions of dollars and gifts. Her husband was also arrested. Joining me now is Florida Senator Rick Scott, a member of the Senate Homeland Security, Armed Services and Budget Committees. Senator, good to see you. Thanks very much. So here we have another situation where the Chinese Communist Party was able to get inside the gates of government, this time in New York. Apparently, she was able to stop any Taiwanese officials from meeting New York officials. She was able to send out lots of invitations to leaders in Beijing to come to New York. She obviously was a high-ranking official in the governor's office. She's the deputy chief of staff. Your reaction?
Well, the Democrat Party has a communist China, Iran, basically a dictator problem. They're okay with appeasement of Xi in China, even though China wants to destroy your way of life. Think about what China's doing right now. They're sending fentanyl across the border to kill over 70,000 Americans a year. They're lying about everything about the economy as far as trade deals, everything, so to kill your family's job. They're taking your dollars when you buy their crap and build a military with the whole goal to stop all freedom around the world. They'll start with Taiwan, but they're not going to stop there. They don't like our freedoms. And then, these same, look, the same Democrats want to appease Iran. Now that's why we have the Houthis, Hamas, and Hezbollah attacking Israel. And then they don't do anything to hold Maduro accountable in Venezuela, Diaz-Canel accountable, Ortega accountable in Latin America. So the Democrat Party's got a dictator problem. Starts with Xi in Communist China. They have completely infiltrated. Well, you have to. They have completely infiltrated the Democrat Party with all these appeasers for dictators, including Xi.
Why?
It's crazy. I mean, it's crazy.
But why, Senator? What's the motivation? Is someone getting paid here? Why?
Oh, it's all about money. Everything's about money, Maria. I mean, these people are making a fortune off of it. They'll get a free trip to China. And who's the worst is the Democrat nominee, vice president nominee, Walz. He goes away. Didn't he go on his honeymoon over to China? I mean, he has all these relationships with communist Chinese officials, and he's going to be the vice president. I mean, isn't that a national security risk for our country?
Yeah.
When our top officials have all these close ties to the Communist Party?
Yeah. Well, he said that, the communism system is good because everyone's the same. It doesn't matter if you're the construction worker or the doctor, you make the same, and everyone shares. That was the comment that Tim Walz made about communist China, astoundingly. Senator, we're also getting details on Kamala Harris and Tim Walz's economic agenda. It's coming piecemeal, we know that. But now she's proposing $50,000 tax deductions for small business, 10 times the current allowable deduction of $5,000. Harris's other proposals include not extending the Trump tax cuts. She is not going to extend the Trump tax cuts, even as she claims she's wanted to cut taxes for the middle class. How do you cut taxes for the middle class but not extend the tax cuts? Isn't that increasing for the middle class? Isn't that increasing taxes for the middle class? She's calling for increasing taxes for the wealthy and for corporations, I know that. Expanding the child tax credit, housing credits, a 44.6% capital gains tax, and a 25% tax on unrealized gains. Senator, your reaction?
She has no earthly idea what she's doing. Here's a lady that I don't know if she's ever had a private sector job. She's never built a business. I bet she has no idea what a profit and loss statement is. I mean, she's never been a consumer products industry. She wants to say, oh, there's price gouging. Okay, well, think about that. If there is, first off, she was the Attorney General of a state. We have laws in every state about price gouging. But what she's going to do is it's price controls, which means it'll be the same as what Maduro's doing in Venezuela, which means you get nothing because nobody can be able to produce anything for a profit, so they'll stop producing it. This lady has no idea what she's talking about. She's never built a business. Let's elect a business guy, Donald Trump, who's built businesses, had a great economy, and who was president, instead of what she's done. She won't cut regulation. She'll increase it. She won't reduce the permitting time. She'll make it worse. She has no earthly idea how business works.
All right. So you're saying Donald Trump's policies are going to help American citizens and expand the economy in terms of growth. But how does he get there? I want to ask you your thoughts on the election and whether or not you're expecting a fair election. Congress is back in session next week, and a possible government shutdown is looming at the end of the month. We know that because funding is set to run out. I've been reporting on this program that House Speaker Mike Johnson wants a continuing resolution to extend government funding through March of 2025. However, he wants to link it to the SAVE Act. If passed, that SAVE Act would help secure the upcoming election by preventing non-citizens from voting. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer will not even bring this to the floor, Senator. What are you expecting in the Senate? And do you want to see Mike Johnson attach the SAVE Act to a CR?
Absolutely. I've been talking to Mike Johnson about it. This is important. Mike Lee's got this bill in the Senate side, and I support what Mike's trying to do there. We have got to make sure non-citizens don't vote. We just saw that Virginia, Alabama, Texas just cut off 16,000 people off their voter rolls that were non-citizens. My last election was won by 10,000 votes. This is important. If Chuck Schumer decides he doesn't want to bring it, then Chuck Schumer will be deciding that he wants to shut down government. It's not us. We're saying we want to fund government, and we ought to do it through next year so the next president has the opportunity to make sure he fixes the budget. And we ought to make sure non-citizens don't vote. It's pretty simple. If Chuck Schumer doesn't believe in those things, then let him make that decision. But we're not. We're going to do it. We should be doing everything we can to pass that in the House and the Senate.
Do you have any evidence of illegals getting registered to vote right now?
Well, we just saw that Texas, Alabama, and Virginia just took 16,000 people off the voter rolls. So, yeah, we're finding it around the country. Okay. I tell people, vote, make sure your friends vote, and go be a poll watcher.
Senator, we just had a really important conversation about the attacks on free speech across the world. And, of course, Kamala Harris's recent comments when she was campaigning about X, wanting to take down Donald Trump's posts on X. Censor information during COVID is what they did. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden working with social media companies. The Department of Homeland Security and the White House defending this new initiative to help target disinformation. Fierce criticism from Republicans who have cast the effort as an overreach. But, you know, this is a story that we keep following, and we keep seeing evidence of leaders in America trying to censor information. What can you do about it as an elected official?
We all need to be up in arms about this. I mean, Lula's doing it in Brazil right now. So that's, you know, he was supposedly a Democratic elected president, right? So we have to fight this here. The world is, you know, people around the world are trying to shut down free speech because they don't want, there's a deep state everywhere around the world, and clearly where there's dictatorships. But in the United States, we have a deep state. They don't want you to have all the information. Like right now, we don't give us information about the assassination attempt on President Trump. Tell us exactly what happened. Hold a press conference. Take all questions. Say, what do you know, what you don't know. Don't sit there and, oh, we'll give you a little bit of information here every few days. Tell us the facts. Mayorkas needs to do it. The acting director of Secret Service needs to do it. Ray needs to do it. Give us the information. It's our country, not the deep state in D.C.
Well, it's incredible. Real quick, are you feeling that the down ballots are going to get the same treatment as the president in this election? How are you feeling about the Senate and the Republicans taking control?
We're going to win. We're going to get a majority in the Senate. I think Mike Johnson's got a bigger majority in the House, and Trump's going to win the White House. In my state, there is no energy for socialism. My opponent's a socialist. Harris is a socialist. Walsh is a socialist. They're not going to do well in Florida, and I think that's an example of what's going to happen around the country.
All right, Senator. It's great to see you this morning, as always. Thanks so much. Senator Rick Scott.
See you, Maria.
In Florida. See you soon.